Hello and welcome to another episode of Current Affairs MCQ. Let's begin with the previous day's question. Consider the following statements. 1. Wetlands are ecotones having land transitional between terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. 2. The Montreux record lists wetlands with deteriorating ecological character due to human activity or pollution. 3. Chilka Lake is the first site from Asia and the only one from India to be included in the Montreux record. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The correct answer is option B. Wetlands are areas of marsh, fen, peatland or water, both natural and artificial, with water that is static or flowing, including marine areas with a depth not exceeding 6 meters. Wetlands are ecotones having land transitional between terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The Montreux record or the threatened list lists wetlands with deteriorating ecological character due to human activity or pollution. Hence, statement 2 is correct. India has 2 wetlands in the Montreux records, namely Keoladeo National Park, Rajasthan, and Loktak Lake, Manipur. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Chilka Lake was included in the Montreux record in 1993 but was removed in 2002, the first site from Asia. The Kitchen wetland in Falodi and Minar wetland in Udaipur in Rajasthan have been declared Ramsar sites, bringing India's total to 91, the highest in Asia. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Moving on to the first question. Regarding the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, consider the following statements. 1. It includes 6 schedules, with Schedules 1 and 2 providing absolute protection to endangered species. 2. The Chief Wildlife Warden may permit killing if the animal threatens human life or is incurably diseased and cannot be captured or relocated. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C. Wildlife Protection Act 1972. It provides comprehensive legal framework for the protection of wild animals, birds and plants, the management of their habitats, and the regulation of trade in wildlife and related products. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972 comprises 6 schedules, with Schedule 1 and 2 providing absolute protection to endangered species. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Section 9. No person shall hunt any wild animal listed in Schedules 1, 2, 3 and 4 except as permitted under Sections 11 and 12. As per Section 11, the Chief Wildlife Warden may permit killing if the animal threatens human life or is incurably diseased and cannot be captured or relocated. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 2. Regarding the National e-Vidhan application platform, consider the following statements. 1. It is a digital workflow platform launched under the One Nation, One Application initiative to streamline legislative operations in a paperless and transparent way. 2. Under the initiative, the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs provide full central assistance and the platform is hosted on the NIC cloud Meghraj. Which of the statements given above is or are not correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option D. National e-Vidhan Sabha application is a workflow-based digital platform launched under the One Nation, One Application initiative to digitize legislative functioning in a paperless, efficient and transparent manner. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Funded entirely through central assistance by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs and hosted on NIC Cloud Meghraj. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Nagaland became the first state to implement NEVA in 2022. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Question 3. Consider the following statements regarding nickel. 1. Nickel is a silvery white metallic element found widely in the Earth's crust and forming a major part of Earth's core as a nickel-iron alloy. 2. In India, nickel is produced from primary sources, especially from laterite deposits of Sukinda Valley in Odisha. 3. It is primarily used in stainless steel production, rechargeable batteries, and as a catalyst in chemical industries. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only, B. 1 and 3 only, C. 2 and 3 only, D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option B. Nickel is a silvery white metallic element, the fifth most common on Earth, found widely in the crust and forming a major part of Earth's core as a nickel-iron alloy. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It also occurs in meteorites, soil and water and is an essential nutrient for plants. Reserves: Australia, United States, Brazil, Canada and China have the largest global nickel reserves. In India, nickel occurs in laterite deposits of Sukinda Valley, Odisha, but it is not produced from primary sources. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Applications: stainless steel production, rechargeable batteries like lithium-ion batteries for EVs, alloys, for example aerospace, electroplating, coinage and catalysts in chemical industries. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 4. Consider the following statements regarding the Etalin hydropower project. 1. It is a run-of-the-river hydropower project located in Arunachal Pradesh. 2. It involves the construction of dams on tributaries of the Dibang River. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. Both 1 and 2, D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C. The Forest Advisory Committee under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has granted in principle forest clearance for the 3097 megawatt Etalin run-of-the-river hydropower project. The Etalin hydropower project is a run-of-the-river hydroelectric project situated in the Dibang Valley of Arunachal Pradesh within the Eastern Himalaya Global Biodiversity Hotspot. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The project involves two gravity dams, one on the Dri River and another on the Talo River, both tributaries of the Dibang River. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 5. Consider the following statement regarding neutrinos. 1. Neutrinos are electrically neutral subatomic particles. 2. They interact frequently with matter, making them easy to detect. 3. Neutrinos have potential applications in communication systems as an alternative to electromagnetic waves. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only, B. 1 and 3 only, C. 2 and 3 only, D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option D. Neutrinos are subatomic particles that are electrically neutral, have a small mass and are left-handed. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Neutrinos interact with matter very rarely, making them difficult to detect and study. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Neutrinos can carry information across large distances due to their low interaction rate with matter. They could potentially be used to transmit information as an alternative to electromagnetic waves in communication channels. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 6. Which of the following are the criteria for granting classical language status? 1. High antiquity of its early texts or recorded history over a period of 1500 to 2000 years. 2. A body of ancient literature or texts which is considered a heritage by generation of speakers. 3. Knowledge texts, especially prose texts, in addition to poetry, epigraphical and inscriptional evidence. 4. Language being used as an official language in multiple countries. Select the correct answer using the code given below. A. 1, 2 and 3 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 4 only, D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is option A. Criteria for granting classical language status. In 2004, the Government of India decided to create a new category of languages called classical languages. The criteria were revised in 2024 as follows: high antiquity of its early texts or recorded history over a period of 1500 to 2000 years, a body of ancient literature or texts which is considered a heritage by generations of speakers, knowledge texts, especially prose texts, in addition to poetry, epigraphical and inscriptional evidence. The classical languages and literature could be distinct from their current form or could be discontinuous with later forms of their offshoots. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 7. The Simla Agreement is often seen in news in the context of A. Trade relations between India and the United Kingdom, B. Bilateral relations and peace between India and Pakistan, C. Environmental cooperation in the Himalayan region, D. Disarmament talks between India and China. The correct answer is option B. The Simla Agreement originated from the 1971 Indo-Pakistani War, which ultimately led to the establishment of Bangladesh's independence. India's military intervention played a significant role in reshaping the South Asian geopolitical landscape. The agreement was negotiated by Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and Pakistan's President Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, aiming to establish peace and normalize relations between the two nations after the conflict. One of India's primary objectives was to resolve the Kashmir dispute bilaterally and prevent Pakistan from taking the issue to international forums. The agreement aimed to foster better relations between India and Pakistan, taking into account the shift in regional power dynamics following the 1971 war. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 8. Which of the following are the likely consequences of the reduction in the repo rate? 1. Lower borrowing costs for banks, leading to cheaper loans for consumers and businesses. 2. Increased liquidity in the market, encouraging investment and spending. 3. Higher interest rates on savings accounts to attract more deposits. 4. Depreciation of the domestic currency due to increased money supply and lower interest rates. Select the correct answer using the code given below. A. 1, 2 and 4 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 4 only. D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is option A. Consequences of reduction in repo rate. Lower repo rate reduces bank borrowing costs, leading to cheaper loans for consumers and businesses. Repo rate is the rate at which the central bank of the country, Reserve Bank of India, lends money to commercial banks in the event of any shortfall of funds. Here, the central bank purchases the security. Lower repo rate increases money supply, boosting liquidity, which encourages investment and spending. A reduction in the repo rate leads to lower interest rate on the savings account, not higher, as banks have lower borrowing costs. Lower repo rate increases money supply and reduces interest rates, leading to a depreciation of the currency. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 9. Which of the following are enshrined in the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023? 1. Empowers individuals with rights to access, correction and erasure of their personal data. 2. Requires explicit consent for data processing with clear consent forms. 3. Requires sensitive data to be stored and processed within India for security and enforcement. 4. Establishes the Data Protection Board of India for compliance and grievance handling. Select the correct answer using the code given below. A. 1 and 2 only. B. 3 and 4 only. C. 1 only. D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is option D. Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. Right to data protection empowers individuals to control their personal data, including rights to access, correction and erasure. Data processing and consent requires explicit consent for data processing with clear consent forms. Data localization. Sensitive data must be stored and processed within India for security and enforcement. Regulatory authority establishes the DPBI for compliance and grievance handling. Data breach notification. Organizations must notify individuals with the DPBI of data breaches. Fines and penalties. Strict penalties for non-compliance to enforce data protection standards. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Question 10. Regarding the central bank digital currency, consider the following statements. 1. It is a legal tender issued by the central bank in digital form. 2. It can be transacted using wallets backed by blockchain. Which of the statements given above is or are not correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option D. A central bank digital currency is a legal tender issued by a central bank in digital form. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Unlike private cryptocurrencies, CBDCs are backed by the central bank, ensuring stability and trust. It is the same as a fiat currency and is exchangeable 1-to-1 with the fiat currency. A fiat currency is a national currency that is not pegged to the price of commodity such as gold or silver. The digital fiat currency or CBDC can be transacted using wallets backed by blockchain. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Though the concept of CBDCs was directly inspired by Bitcoin, it is different from the decentralized virtual currencies and crypto assets which are not issued by the state and lack the legal tender status. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Now, let's look at a practice question. Regarding the Bar Council of India, consider the following statements. 1. It is a statutory and autonomous body established under the Advocates Act 1961. 2. It regulates the legal education and legal practice in India and exercises disciplinary authority over advocates. 3. The Attorney General of India and the Solicitor General of India are ex officio members of the BCI. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Please provide your answers in the comment section.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.